Cass, most recently we saw you in the Oscar-nominated movie Argo. Can you tell us a little bit about your role?
I'm playing one of the people that are trying to stop the group from escaping from Iran. I'm one of the guys, the immigration people in the airport that's desperately trying to prevent them from escaping. So one of the bad guys, I guess.
What's it like to be a part of such a historic movie?
Well, it's cool for me because I'm Canadian, and that story was a big part of our whole kind of culture, I guess, when it was all happening. That the fact that there was this whole Canadian element to that big drama with the Canadian embassy taking part in rescuing these American almost hostages. So that was kind of cool. I was always proud of that as a Canadian growing up in Montreal, and to be part of that movie. Working with Ben Affleck, who I thought did an amazing job on the previous movie I had seen called The Town. I was really happy and excited to be working on that movie with him.
And so, being Canadian, but then playing against them in a movie, how did you prepare yourself for that?
Well, it's kind of hard because I'm born in Canada, so it was kind of interesting because when I went the whole hostage crisis that took place. There's all sorts of backlash that happened because I'm Persian descent that happened afterwards. So, getting to play a character that kind of ruined my reputation back in Canada. It was an interesting thing trying to see where they were coming from, why they did what they did, and I mean, because nobody ever sees themselves as a villain. They always feel that they're justified. They always feel that they have reasons for what they're doing. So, being forced to go into that world and kind of figure out the human reasons behind why people were so fanatical and why they were so obsessed was an interesting preparation to do.
And how did you do your research for the role?
Well, a lot of it I knew already. A lot of it I would talk to family members and find out because I didn't live in that time in Iran or anything like that, so I didn't know firsthand what it was like. So I would talk to my family, I would talk to my relatives, people who actually participated in that era of when that was happening, and got feedback as to how people behaved, how intense they were, why they were so aggressive and so militant, and so you did a lot of research through my family.
Now, through that entire movie, the viewer themselves are on the edge of their seat, just waiting. Although they know what's going to happen in the end,
Historically, no people know what happened. Yeah,
right? You're still on the edge of your seat.
that's a sign of a good director who can present you a historical story, but still keep you wondering what's going to happen next, even though you know.
So, when it comes to Ben Affleck as a director, how would you say that how does he portray himself? How does he differ from being an actor to a director?
That's a good question. I'd have to say that as a director, he's a really good storyteller. Like he has a really good grasp of how to tell a story, how to keep the pace moving, how to put the scenes together visually so that it does exactly what you just described. It's like the suspense and the tension and the energy of the movie. And he did this with The Town too. He did this with Town. It just keeps pushing forward. Like I remember when I first saw Town in Ireland for the premiere. Actually, Ben was there in Dublin. I remember that first car chase, that being one of the best car chases I've ever seen on film, and I'm like, how the heck did this guy put a car chase together that made me think like, wow, that's like a really amazing car chase when I've seen so many James Bond and everything like that. So he just has a really natural gift for storytelling and telling a story visually.
Now, we've talked a bit about Argo. I want to know what's coming up for you. You've got some pretty big projects on the go.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a TV show coming out. Just a guest star on NCS Los Angeles, but that's coming up next Tuesday. But the big thing is this movie called Diana. It's the Princess Diana biopic with Naomi Watts playing Diana, and I'm going to be playing Dodi Fayed. That's coming out at the end of this year.
And how did the whole audition process go for that?
It's really short and sweet. I was in Europe filming another show, and my agent called me and said, "Hey, can you put this scene on tape for me?" And I was like, "Okay." And I was really frazzled. I had so many things going on. I had like 5 auditions that day, and it was like 3/4 of a page, short little audition. Didn't really know what I was auditioning for. Put it on tape. Boom, flying I was in the air right after that. When I landed, I got the phone call saying, "Hey, you just got cast as Dodie in the Diana movie," and I was like, "Huh?"
That's pretty
I
quick.
said, "Who's playing Diana?" And they said Naomi Watts, and I was like, "Okay, let's do it."
That's awesome. Well, good for you. When do you start shooting that?
Oh, that's done.
Oh, it's finished.
It's in post production. It's gonna be coming out in the fall, like in about 5-6 months.
And are you able to give us a little bit of a view on what we can expect?
Yeah, it's actually really interesting because first of all, it's the first major Diana project. I think it's the only film that's been made. I think there was something made a while ago, but it never really did anything. And it's a story that nobody knows. It's the last 2 years of her life, and she had this kind of secret love affair with a Pakistani heart surgeon before she started seeing Dodi, and no one knows about this. So, in essence, all the Diana fans, all the devout, loyal followers of her and her life are going to get to see a story that they may not even have heard of, which is true, and it's like this complicated love story, and then Dodie comes in there at the end, and it becomes kind of like this kind of love triangle type thing, and I think it's going to be really interesting for people to actually learn something new about Diana that they didn't know. And all of the facts, as far as I know, the script was written based on interviews with all of her closest friends and family. So there's a lot of accuracy to it. They went they worked really hard on making sure that even though it is a dramatization, that there's a lot of accuracy to it. And I know that the way they treated the Dodie character, they talked to Dodie's father, Mr. Al-Fayed, and he basically said, anything I can do to help you, please let me know, and kind of got the blessing of the family because they said, you're treating your son's memory with respect, and there's no scandals or anything like that in the movie. It's really much more of a showing who this woman was and how amazing she was. She really was amazing. I learned that about Princess Diana. Yeah.
So it really is legit. They've got the rights to all the facts, and
I mean, the royal family knows about it. They've kind of, as much as the royal family can give their blessing on a story like this, they've given their blessing. They didn't try to stop it from being made or anything like that. So I think it's because they went through such lengths to make sure it was very accurate and very respectful. Like it's treating the material very, very respectfully. There's no attempts to create scandal or anything like that.
that's great. Well, all the best with that. I do have one other question for you. I try to ask each of my guests. It's actually about your sock choice.
My sock. Oh, don't ask me to show my socks.
I won't ask you to show them, but can you tell me why you chose the ones you're wearing today?
I was late getting here, so these ones happen to be just in plain view, and I have a feeling that they're not both matching.
That's okay. I purposely don't match my socks. So
You?
yes, maybe it's a Canadian thing.
But you're not wearing any socks.
Not today, no.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to mismatch an island.
I was going to say that makes it easy. But maybe it is a Canadian thing. Maybe because it's so bloody cold up there that we just don't care which socks we
Just
wear.
grab whatever we can.
Thickest pair and put them on. Yeah.
True enough. And is your home base now in LA?
Yeah, I live here now. I go back and forth to Canada, but LA is where I spend most of my time.
Well, all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
I
much.
appreciate the time.
Usually goes to